Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly bump. Thank you guys so much for being here. This week we have 3 piles, and I'm just going to put crystals here for you. We have a fire quartz, pile number 1, a sodalite, pile number 2, and we have an amethyst for pile number 3. Go ahead, take a moment. If you want to pause the video, you're more than welcome to feel intuitively drawn toward one pile or the other. Not everyone is always feeling called, so I always say there's an element of destiny. So if you're not sure, just randomly pick one, and there will likely be a message there for you. I think that's it. I think that's everything. So take a moment. Timestamps will be in the description and the comment thread down below, so you can quickly fast forward to your pile. And that's it. All right. See you guys in just a sec. Okay, pile number 1, you guys selected the fire quartz, which kind of is pretty. It kind of looks like a heart a little bit. Let's go ahead here and take a look and see what these cards have to say. So we start off with an 8 of Wands, Devil, Queen of Swords, 9 of Coins, 3 of Swords, and Death. Okay, wow. I feel like all of these mechanisms that you've developed over the years, rightfully so, to protect yourself from negative people, energy drains, heartbreak, that all these mechanisms to protect yourself have suddenly become less boundaries, more imprisonment. And they serve their purpose. But now with the Death and the 3 of Swords, it is truly time for those structures to come down. And I feel a need, a calling for you to stand raw and vulnerable and exposed in preparation for your next chapter. 2020 has pushed us so hard. 2020 has pushed us globally, nationally, and individually. And I think the first step of, really admitting, right, these devil things, admitting our demons, admitting all these things that we tell ourselves, our narrative, the lies that we tell ourselves about certain things, that time is coming to an end. And it's happening really, really fast. 8 of Wands. You can't hide from yourself anymore. The thing is that with the Queen of Swords, if she tries to lie herself, who is she? If she tries to lie to herself, who is she kidding? Who does she think she's kidding? And I think that you had to go through the things that you've gone through, whatever, recently or 10 years ago, it doesn't matter when you went through the things, but you had to go through the things to learn the things, to prepare you for where you're really going. And I think Virgo season, as the sun enters into Virgo now, there is this component of absolutely walking in wisdom, absolutely walking in our self-mastery. And I look at this Queen of Swords and I see this incredible, determined look on her face to really acknowledge and to share this value that she holds in her heart. This 9 of Coins, just so much bounty, so much abundance, so much possibility. But it has to be accessed first. And she has to give the world access. And I think up to this point, the protection mechanisms have been useful, but now they are no longer useful. You had to learn through the negative experience how to build up that resilience, how to build up that strength. And now it's time to use it. And I see that this death card, this transformative energy, is upon you. And it's with your heart. Like, this is not even really meant to be a heart. It just kind of was naturally so. It's one of my favorite stones. I carry it with me actually a lot. And I think that this is kind of poetic here. We have the heart sort of shaped crystal. We have an actual heart here. We have the line going through it, similar to a sword going through it. Like, it's really, really time for these swords to come out. It's time for just the forgiveness and the compassion of everything of the past to just be done and out of the way, because I have this feeling that you are staring at this path in front of you, and it is requiring you to stand as pure and raw and true and authentic as possible. And these protection mechanisms will only keep you standing still. See, the thing about the Queen of Swords is that she's very good at the risk. She's very good at the intensity. She's okay with walking the line between fear and empowerment, between the past and the future. She's very good at walking on the edge of that cliff. And I think the devil knows that he doesn't have his power over you anymore, right? The devil is our Saturnian nature. It's our ego. It's our structure. It's all these rules and laws and regulation that we've set in place for ourselves. It's a lot of times this narrative that we've put on ourselves. The Queen of Swords seems to be breaking free from that and heading, really straight into this Three of Swords death situation. She's like, okay, yeah, it's time for it to be over. I'm done with this devil energy. I'm done. And the Eight of Wands, well, it's happening quickly. Because if you don't allow these walls to come down organically or on their own, the world is going to send you people and circumstances and events that will puncture that wall. The wall is an illusion. It is no longer keeping you safe. I'm feeling you guys really breaking free from something really substantial. I mean, this is exciting. And it goes and makes sense. We're going to have Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn moving direct now here pretty soon in the next couple of months. And as Jupiter and Pluto come back into their third conjunction of the year, this is it right here. This is what it's all about. It's about freedom. Freedom from the things that we didn't even know were keeping us unfree. So, there's, you're staring something in the face right now, staring your future in the face, staring your higher self in the face. And it's like, come on, let's do this. And I do sense a need for you to be really, really brave right now, because look at all these dark skies, right? We've got the dark nighttime skies coming out here. And you are going to be set free, but also standing in darkness at the same time. There's a haziness with everything. And that's where the intensity of the Queen of Swords needs to be its strongest, of like, I'm going to break free and I'm going to have no idea how this is going to go. And yet I'm going to do it anyway. This is where the universe just loves courage like this. This is when people succeed to lengths beyond their wildest expectations, is when you put yourself in these uncomfortable situations. And I think you're like, this is what's happening. When you're lying to yourself, when you have a wall. And when then you also know that to keep it is to be in denial of something, and to be in denial is therefore denying yourself. So you don't have any choice but to just let go. What else? Okay. Well, there you go. How can I surrender even more in this moment? Because the walls are coming down. The mechanism won't hold up anymore. The universe wants you to share your value with the world, your 9 of coins, your abundance with the world, your wisdom. So what does it say? It says, it is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. Wow, that's powerful, right? Trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet. That's the dark sky that's coming out in all these cards. It is nighttime out there. It is dark. The moon is only at a crescent. You can barely see. And yet this is the absolute, the test of your trust, the test of your faith in that which exists beyond your physical self. Strange how it is so hard to trust ourselves sometimes. Oh, well, I even use the word tested. Your commitment is being tested. There you go. Your commitment is being tested. And believe in the impossible. I feel that there's this bigness inside of you that is trying to expose itself. There's this, opening, and this mechanism, this 3 of Swords, this mechanism that you've been using for protection, and probably rightfully so while you were healing. But now that that's coming to a close, it is time for you to dream as big as possible, because your soul did not incarnate here to be scared. I'm not saying all of you have all these huge dreams to go and be a, multi-billionaire, to go and, travel to not everyone has all these gigantic dreams, but some of us are even afraid to dream for the small things, like a little home of your own, or, to have a little business, or to have a YouTube channel, or some of us are just afraid to dream for even that. And I think this commitment here is the commitment that we made, our soul made, upon incarnation. I mean, I have a firm belief, I could be wrong, but I have a firm belief that our soul knew what it was getting into when it chose to come here. That it could see the state of the world, right? It could see the trajectory, it could see what was going on. So it's not an accident that we are here. It's not an accident that we grew up the way we grew up. It's not an accident that certain people came into our lives and taught us certain things. So if we let go of, the bigness, the impossibility, then what are we even doing? And I think, like I say, you are sort of walking on the edge of that cliff, and the universe might just, that wind just might blow and catch you just right and push you over the edge, and you're going to have no choice but to just let go. You're going to have no choice but to have faith, no choice but to have trust. But I think it will probably be one of the most exciting rides of your life as well. I think some of you are staring at the face of some of your, your biggest dreams, the love of your life, that big business. Some of you are really looking at it in the face, and all you have to do is just step off that cliff. Oh, there we go. Heart chakra. We have the heart stone here. We have the heart with the 3 of Swords. I mean, yeah, this is heart level. And I know that Leo season is over, and we're, in Vedic astrology, we're still in Leo season, so I guess I can call it this. But, in Western, okay, yes, we're in Virgo season. But, the part of the Virgo, the self-mastery quality, right? Self-analysis, self-learning, all that kind of stuff with the Virgo energy, it is very heart-driven, because the more and more self-knowledge you have, the more and more committed you are to the person that you know that you want to be. I'm not saying you want to be anything other than what you are right now, and I'm not saying to create unhappiness by wanting something that you don't have, but I also know that the universe speaks through desire. And I know that the universe speaks through desire and plants it in our heart, and it is that desire that guides us. And I think there is something in your heart that is yearning to come out that maybe you haven't let come out for a very long time because you have been afraid to do so, because in the past it may have proven to take you down a wrong path. But I don't think that's the case right now. That's what all this Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto stuff is all about. It's about the end of all the old and the beginning of all the new. So you're not going to go down the same road this time. It's not going to turn out the same, because you've never had this level of self-awareness before. So it can't be the same. And what's so wrong with believing in the big stuff? I know Virgo season wants to always smack down our dreams and keep it all realistic or whatever, but when a Virgo is its most mature, it believes that there are no limits. What's this? The Metal King. Oh my God. Discipline, armor, and boundaries. Stop it. With the Death card right here. Yeah, you have been the Metal King. You have been strapped in armor, haven't you? I know you have, otherwise this card wouldn't pull up. At what point do the boundaries become your imprisonment? How comfortable is this armor, really? How comfortable is this protection? Probably not that comfortable. And I think some of you are living in an illusion, because these Eight of Wands, they're going to puncture that. That's what they do. They puncture for the sake of movement, because the universe doesn't like stagnation. The universe doesn't like anything to stay stationary. Everything is in motion all the time. So you can, pretend to sleep sweetly with your illusion of stability and boundaries and protection or whatever, but it's not real, and you know it, your heart knows it, and that's why if you find yourself lying to yourself, now is the time to just stop. Oh my God, darkness, like the dark skies. It is dark out there. That's the hardest part, is like you want to know, like you want that assurance, right? Well, if I'm going to step out of my boundary, if I'm going to step out of my protection, I want to see the path. And the universe is like, nah, that's not how it works. You don't just get the safety net. The safety net is not going to catch you before you fall. You got to fall first. You got to walk out into the darkness. You got to have that faith. Your commitment is being tested. But don't misconstrue this. Your commitment to what? It's not a commitment to a toxic partner, that's for sure. It's not a commitment to an unhappy life. It's not a commitment to things that aren't serving you. So please don't get it twisted, right? The darkness is the uncomfortable. But still, remember, the darkness is also the darkness of the womb, the darkness of the earth. When you plant a seed, it is within the darkness that growth can even happen. It is from the darkness of the soil that the giant oak tree, begins its journey, its path. So it's not as scary as you think. We have just only been taught that it's scary. And then we have, I'm sorry, I'm going to totally butcher this. Khadijah, not sure how to pronounce, but it's the mother of believers. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. You guys are going to be fine. The perceived risk is not as big as the actual risk. Actually, it's not very risky at all. Actually, it's not that big of a deal at all. Actually, you're fine. Actually, you're safe. Okay? I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. You're safe because you have you. You're safe because you know how to fight, not because you're wearing this armor. You're safe because you're smart, right? That's what it is, by the book. Now, I love this card because it kind of shows the generation and it shows leadership. And I actually feel like the path that you're on is not necessarily that unique. which means there will be advisors. There will be people along the way that will be able to guide you perfectly. Mentors, they'll be able to show you, they'll be able to, advise you in very specific ways. And don't forget the wisdom of your soul itself. You're not as alone, you're not as out there as you might like to think. Sometimes we kind of hang on to that and identify with that and look how special I am because I took such a huge risk and now I feel so alone. Look how special I am. It's really not that special, which hopefully will make it feel more safe. That there are a lot of people who are going through similar things. There are a lot of people who understand exactly the choices that you're making and understand why you're making them. And the people that are on this vibration of this courageousness that you are now employing, they will show up in your life. Guaranteed, that's how it works. Okay? So it's like following the warriors that came before you. Ooh, and then the wind activation. And I love that. I love because the wind is like the air and the air is like the heart chakra. So there's definitely a lot of that air element. And the air, of course, is, left and right and up and down and swirling and all over the place. It's very flexible. And you can catch it. You can catch the wind. And it can actually make your journey a lot easier. Maybe the scary part is just kind of letting down your sail, right? Letting down your sail and letting the wind take you where it needs to go. And oh my gosh, the moth, surrender now. We even have that word surrender showing up here. How can I surrender even more in this moment? Surrender now. Now, that's a powerful word. Do it now. Let go. Stop fighting. Stop trying to convince yourself. Stop trying to push things away. Stop trying to push people away. Stop trying to put things in boxes where you know they don't belong. Just stop. It's so exhausting, isn't it? You've already been afforded the opportunity to go deep within yourself. Now is the opportunity to put your money where your mouth is, to practice what you preach, to do what you would advise any of your other friends to do. Just go be happy, right? That's what it is. This is what this all is. This is what all of life is. Just go be happy. Follow your heart. There are no problems if you don't see them as problems. There are no risks if you don't see them as risks. There are no losses if you don't see them as losses. Powerful reading, you guys. Really big week for you. I'm going to leave you with that. I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing week. I wish you nothing but the best. All right? Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, pile number 2. You guys selected the Sodalite. Last week I actually called a stone, a blue stone, which is actually a celestite, a sodalite. I got them mixed up. This is real sodalite this week. Okay, so here we go. Here we have the Hierophant, 3 of Cups, 8 of Coins, the Star, King of Coins, and the Knight of Coins. A lot of coin energies, which means that, it's time to take some kind of an action to do the work, Virgo season. 8 of Coins is a Virgo card. And I think it's very dream oriented, right? The Star is all about possibilities and big options and the seemingly impossible. It's about achievement and hopes and wishes and things coming true and healing and all those wonderful things. And I see you being quite vigilant and doing the things that that need to be done in order to make that happen and making probably some pretty substantial changes. I'm seeing this sort of King of Coins with the Knight of Coins. I'm seeing like a pivot, right? Kind of like looking one way, looking the other way. There's like an adjustment being made this week, most likely. An adjustment with your behavior, with your work habits, with your time management, whatever it is. And I think because I think you want to start moving faster with things. You want higher level efficiency, you want better results, and you want, things to really ultimately work out. The thing that I love about this reading is that I'm seeing productivity, but with a really beautiful balance of being very much at peace with that Hierophant coming out, really strong, sturdy, right? The crisscross keys on his chest along his heart there, of just like knowing exactly which direction his heart wants to go and exactly what action the heart needs to take. For some reason, I think that you guys have goals, and maybe there are practical reasons with these goals, but it's also kind of like maybe you don't even really know quite exactly why these are the things that you even want, but yet it feels right. And I think it is right. I think whatever it is you're working for is right for you. And if you're at the beginning stages or even at the decision stage of like taking that first step in that direction, I'm just going to say you guys are really, really safe to make that step. You're really safe to begin the research. You're really safe to do, the small beginning things, because the star is here to say, like, don't worry, I got your back. I'm looking out for you. I see you. All these dots will connect someday. You'll get it someday. This will look like a constellation someday. And I think the King of Coins is like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm not afraid to do the things now because, yeah, I know. I know that the picture will get bigger. And I even love the Three of Cups. With this particular deck, I love the Three of Cups. To me, it gives me a feeling of support. Like your friends, your family members, they're in full and absolute support of what it is that you're wanting to do. And they're kind of like looking on at you and saying like, I see you. I'll be here for you, or I'll help you. Maybe it's even your spirit guides. Deep feminine energy coming out here, whether you're masculine or feminine, it doesn't matter. These are feminine entities, feminine energy. And they're helping you receive a lot of receptive quality. There's a lot of receptive energy with the Eight of Coins here as well, because you need to receive that inspiration. You receive the ideas, you receive that kind of motivation, and then you make it happen. So there's both a masculine and feminine at work here with the Eight of Coins. But I think the Three of Cups is here to say, like, don't worry, we're here to receive everything for you. And we'll sort of funnel it through in a manageable way for you to be actually not feel too overwhelmed. So whatever your dreams are, however this is going for you, whether it's in a romantic capacity of like going out and finding a partner, whether it's in a creative endeavor that you have or a new business idea, this is just an excellent week to, it's like a steam engine, just like keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Perseverance, perseverance, perseverance. Small, manageable things every single day. By the end of the month, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I accomplished so much. I had no idea I would take it this far. You might be feeling a little bit of pressure, a little bit of an urgency here. This is kind of the build up to the Mars retrograde coming up here. So you may be feeling that. That's okay. Just allow yourself to prioritize, like what is really important, what is really necessary, and what changes do need to be made. Now, it's possible with these two back to back that you actually do have two people in your, like you and someone else, while you are here very focused on your starlight, on your goals, your destiny, if you will. There might be someone else who is going in another direction. I highly recommend just letting them. Like, who cares, right? Just let them go in the other direction. If it's a romantic situation, just let them leave. Let them do whatever you got to do, because right now, I don't see that you necessarily have that fighter's spirit to fight for getting someone's attention, or, that's just not in you. The only thing that I think you have a fight for are the things that you're inspired by. And if you have had some kind of a disagreement or whatever, if you can channel that energy into productivity, you will absolutely end up ahead. There's no doubt in my mind. Okay. What am I most afraid of losing? Good question. What does this say? As we grow, change, and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was to make room for what will be. If you were to take the big leap today, would you feel scared of losing love, safety, or belonging? What if it was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible to lose any of those things because you have the power to give everything you need to yourself? That's a big question, right? So what are you most afraid of losing? And what if it was a big lie? If you're afraid of losing something or someone, and therefore don't pursue a certain path, then you're the only one that loses. The only thing you're really losing is yourself. The Hierophant is that I would say this is like your inner Buddha, your inner guru. And it's not a quiet voice. The Hierophant is not quiet. It's like when you know, you know. And anything other than that is a lie. For some reason, lying is coming out for me in the last pile and this one, but it's like self-lying. Like, why are we doing this? And why have we done this for a certain period of time, you know? There's no room for that. Like, we can't get away with that nonsense anymore. Where's the real authenticity? Where's the base layer? Because this is a product. What am I most afraid of losing? This is a product of what happens when we are not our pure raw selves. Because when you are your pure raw self, you know that there really is no such thing as losing anyway. There's no such thing as losing. Balance and spirit, balance, spirituality, and practicality. Oh my God, I love that with the Hierophant, 8 of Coins, King of Coins, because your spirit is driving, but your body is doing. There's a lot of doing going on this week. Be bold and make the first move. Yeah. Just do it, right? Just make the move, make the choice, make the decision. I don't know why that's sometimes one of the hardest things that we have to do is just like that first step. We all go through it. It's like, we can have that panic of the initiating the conversation, initiating the trek. But now's a great week to do it. It's Virgo season, Mars coming into, its last degrees of Aries, working its way into a retrograde. Like, now's the time to do it. So why not? Trapped in fear. Okay. Well, that we can deal with, because you can never actually be trapped in fear. You can just not act in spite of fear, right? You're not physically trapped, so you can still do stuff even if you experience fear. Fear is always an illusion. It's not a reality, it's just a thought. I have a feeling you are going to be coming in contact with your destructive thoughts this week. And you're going to be just knocking them out of the park. Like, get out of here. You're going to become empowered, because I think this Hierophant is much more powerful than this trapped in fear nonsense. It's so much more powerful. Afraid of losing, trapped in fear. And your Hierophant is like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what are you even talking about? And I think the Hierophant is going to be like, just stop. And it's going to catch you, it's going to catch you. It's going to catch you in that dialogue. And you're going to have that choice. Maybe that's the pivot, right? You're going to have that choice of like, I don't want to go in that direction. I don't want to go down that path, that thought patterning. I don't want that to hinder my progress. So you do it anyway. That's 8 of Coins, the star. You're going to do it anyway. So when you come into that moment, when you feel afraid, when you're worried about the risk, when you're worried about what's at stake, just do it anyway. The Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, and withholding. And I love that it's there with the 3 women, the Lady of the Gift, the woman, because to me this is receiving, okay? And you are going to be generosity. And I think that could be money. It could be the right people. It could be someone's time. It could be generosity of your own time and being able to use your own time however you see fit. And I suspect The more generosity you request from the universe, the more you receive. The more you perceive, the more you receive. Your perspective here is everything. Perspective is really our choice. That's really where free will lies. How are we going to perceive something? That's really where it's at. That's where our power is. Right? Because when you look up at the stars and you just see a whole bunch of single stars, we can choose to perceive individual stars, or we can choose to perceive the constellation. I think you guys are going big picture right now. I think you're going toward the positive. You're going toward the good. You're going toward that, the motivational side of all of this. Any kind of relationships that you have that are out of sync with you, I just don't think you're going to have any patience for that. And you're not going to have any patience for other people who are trapped in fear either. Extremes. Oh my gosh, look at that. You might be a little bit on a roller coaster, or the roller coaster might be someone else in your life, someone else operating in extreme. For some reason, I feel a lot of stability with the King of Coins and the Hierophant. Like you guys are pretty good locked in, and you might be experiencing extremes externally from you. So other people may be going, having emotional meltdowns and stuff like that. But I think you are indifferent to those extremes, indifferent to being pulled in different directions, because your head is down, you're going to work, because you're making the first move, because you're making things happen. And like the universe can try to pull you, but remember, it's all about perspective. And you can feel the fear, you can stare the fear in the face, but you definitely don't have to indulge in it. Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. Oh my gosh, with the Hierophant, forget it. You guys are solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. Like, I'm so excited for you, because that's where real power is. It's in that Tao, that middle, that almost neutral, stoic place where there can be extremes all over the place. There can be optimism and pessimism. There can be happiness and sadness, and it doesn't matter, because you're just there observing all of it. And if you accept that responsibility that you are your home, and that you cannot lose yourself, then anything other than that is not really a loss, which means this whole question of what am I most afraid of losing just goes right out the window. Like here we have a feather. It's almost like that feather just gets blown right out the window. Because nothing can really withstand the power of someone who is truly seated in their, like that seat of the soul. When someone is truly sitting in that throne, then they are unshakable. That's what 2018, 2019 was really all about, becoming untouchable. Remember how many times I said that, you guys? It's about becoming untouchable. Untouchable with external events, external people. And time to go. You're looking down the tunnel of something. I mean, there's movement happening. There's action happening. There's something being built. And if you operate, well, as long as I have myself, I'm good. As long as I have me, I'm good. Then you're good. And there really might be certain people that are showing their true colors, and it's like time for them to leave your life. It's time. It's time for you to walk away from that stuff. It's time for you to stop being afraid of what's on the other side. Green man, synergy. Oh, I love that. There is an element of synchronization with all of this. I have a feeling that choice by choice, right? Coin by coin. These guys, these three feminine entities around you, they will receive people, places, things, and place them in your path. And it's almost as though you'll be, I think, like surprised at the synchronicities. Surprised as to how everything is just sort of molding together. Surprised at your creative, right? Sodalite, fifth chakra, the throat chakra, the creative one. You'll be surprised as to what you are creating, this sort of, conductor of this orchestra. And you'll be like, oh, wow, that really does sound like music. Wow, good for me. I'm creating this beautiful masterpiece. Maybe that's ultimately what this is. Maybe I'm going in a roundabout way of saying that you are truly stepping into what it means to actually be the creator of your world, to be the creator of heaven on earth, beginning with your mind. Last but not least, the dove spirit, be peaceful. Interesting, extremes. What is that one? Fear, trapped in fear. What am I afraid of losing? And be peaceful. Sanctuary. There is the difference between the inside and the outside. The peace and the unpeaceful. So it is your choice. Although I think pretty much everyone watching this pile is going to choose the peaceful. This doesn't say be peaceful, it means be peace. You as the source of peace. You, when you walk into a room, bring peace to those around you. Simply by being what you are and being who you are. And when you are in that state of peace, things can synchronize and things can move forward, and there should never be fear, ever. And that is when these stars turn into constellations. Right? Don't forget who you are. All right, you guys. I'm going to leave you with that. You guys know I love you. I hope you have an amazing week. I wish you nothing but the best. And the September readings will probably be out early next week, beginning of September. And that's everything. All right? Thank you so much. Take care. Okay, pile number 3. You guys selected the Amethyst pile. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and see what's coming out for you. We have the Ace of Coins, the Sun, Page of Wands, the Judgment, Seven of Coins, and Five of Swords. Okay. Please do not be discouraged if things do not develop as quickly as you would like. I think you're in the beginning stages of something and it needs a little bit of a growth spurt, but this is not the right time for the growth spurt to happen. But it doesn't mean growth isn't happening. All right, we have the Ace of Coins, we have the Page of Wands. These are very beginner kind of vibes. And they're still in darkness, right? We kind of have the dark sky around the Ace. We have the dark sky above the Page. So don't be discouraged. Don't do that whole thing that we humans do when our minds are like, yeah, but what if this? And yeah, but what if that? And what, and we want to like change everything right away just because it doesn't work right away. Don't change anything, okay? Don't change anything back from the past. You can change things moving forward, but don't try to go back and like redo stuff. Just start fresh every day. The sun is guiding you. The sun is the most brilliant card, right? We have really incredible illumination. This is actually quite different than the other two readings in that you actually can see your path. You actually do know what steps to take. It's just a matter of like things really catching or taking hold. It's a matter of kind of breaking out of the soil, so to speak. But the Judgment is always a moment of enlightenment, right? An awakening, a rebirth, definitely an element of clarity and being able to really, really see and to know the truth of things. And the sun is always, the perfect guide because it's like, okay, our head is saying the same thing as our heart and our body wants to do the same thing. So it's like a mental, a spiritual, and a physical alignment that happens and we just do it. And there's not a lot of second guessing. There's not a lot of doubt. So when those kinds of things sort of creep in, it's going to be just a matter of willpower to not indulge that. Now, there might be people in your life. I feel like there's some sort of external forces that are projecting negativity. And like, why? Why would you have an Ace of Coins, a Sun, a Page of Wands, and a Last Judgment? Why on earth would you ever let someone external from you look into your life and project their own insecurities into what you have going on for you? Please don't allow that. It's Virgo season. Everyone's going to be hypercritical right now. Everyone is looking at themselves and seeing all the things that they could have done during the lockdown and da-da-da-da-da, right? But you don't have to play that game. You don't and you won't. I don't see it. I don't see you playing it because I think you know what game they're playing and you're like, nope, I don't want it. Get out. Nope, I don't want it. Leave me alone. Please don't disrupt me with this ever, ever, ever again. To the point where you might even get angry if someone tries to do that to you. Not going to lie, you might get angry. And rightfully so, right? Because if you're not, in a consultation and you're not explicitly asking for their opinion, then what are they even, like, who cares what they think? And I think because you know that you're only at the beginning stages here, because you know that this is like a baby or an infant energy, and you know what it's going to take. These people that are saying like, oh, you're not growing nearly as fast, it's kind of like, I think you're prepared to give them a big F you. Like, screw off, leave me alone. I'd say people with pile 3, like, they better not mess with you. Because maybe there are some friendships on the line, 5 of Swords, right? When people get caught up in 5 of Swords sort of nonsense, this is what I always say is like my card of toxic habits and bad patterns, or bad habits and toxic patterns, or whatever. Whenever that kind of creeps in, if you're dealing with someone who has the Sun energy and the Judgment energy, you're not going to get away with this. Because these are too powerful. They're 2 major arcana, and they're too bright, and they're too brilliant, they're too smart and intelligent, emotionally intelligent and spiritually intelligent to deal with this kind of abuse. And that's exactly what it is. It's abuse. And you're not going to have it. Because I think this amethyst, the fact that you guys even chose this stone here, is an indication that you're operating from your higher chakras. You're operating from that higher vibration anyway. This is low vibe kind of stuff. So it has no place. And they're going to find out real quick that it has no place. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here it is. Do I surround myself with people who lift me up? There it is. The people with whom we surround ourselves determine who we become. Does your tribe fill you up? Do they inspire you? Do they believe in you? Do they help you step into your greatest potential? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then they need to be left behind. Or they need to just be not involved. I'm not saying to cut off your mother or anything like that, but honestly, cut your time down with them. Clearly you're trying to grow something. This Ace of Coins is a seed. It's a seed, and it needs sunlight, and it needs nourishment, and it needs time and energy and attention. And if someone is projecting their stuff on you and you're bringing that negativity into the seed, it's not going to grow. You need isolation. You need to protect this seed from all the things. And be choosy. Be really, really choosy. Only surround yourself with people who are genuinely happy for you. Have faith in your dreams. Exactly. Oh my gosh, stop it. You guys, I swear these cards they truly are magical. I still to this day get blown away by look, time to release negativity. Exactly. Have faith in your dreams. And on the right, Sun and Ace of Coins. Have faith in your dreams. Release negativity. I'm not saying you don't have to be, practical and realistic about stuff. You can still be realistic and be optimistic at the same time. But these are people that don't want you to succeed because it means that they themselves, in a reflection of you, they are a failure. When they look at you, they see themselves back and they see like all the things they could have done. And that's what Virgo season does to people. It's a really harsh season. It's not a super friendly time of the year, right? That's why the stereotype of Virgo is like everyone's so judgmental, so self-critical, so naggy, whatever, because it's all just a negative Virgo projection of insecurity and failure. And it's gross. Like, it's gross when people do that. But when Virgo season manifests positively, right? When it's positive, it's like the most abundant thing in the world. It's either this, if you knew the mythology, I don't want to go into the whole mythology of like Demeter and essentially Virgo season, but we have Ice Queen, ice season, winter, barren, freezing cold, or abundant crops. It's like one or the other. It's usually an extreme. So this is the abundance. This is the barren, winter, icy world. So the choice is yours, which side you want to, really be on. But I'm pretty sure y'all are going to choose this, right? And suffering in silence. Okay, why? Because of someone else? Because of someone else's idea? Because maybe you let someone else and their voice and their narrative and their illusion that they projected onto you, whether it's a friend or whether it's a culture or whatever it is, right? You're kind of holding yourself up to that standard. Suffering in silence, why? What are you suffering in silence for? You literally have the Sun, the Ace of Coins, the Page of Wands, and the Judgment card on your side. There's nothing to be sad about. There's no failure here. There's no loss here. There's no wrong path. Absolutely not a single one. There's no wrong ideas. There are only people who pursue their dreams and people who do not. And you got to take a chance. And just because some rando thinks that you shouldn't take a chance doesn't mean anything. Negativity is often a source of suffering. But I don't think this negativity really belongs to you right now. I think maybe you've had to deal and work through your own negative scripting, sure. Right now, I don't think it belongs to you. I think you've adopted it from someone else. And therefore, it's more easily shed. It can be shed and replaced with faith. Keeper of the scales, fairness and balance. Somehow you're wanting, for some reason I'm feeling like you're wanting, normally I would say there's nothing wrong with this, fairness and balance. Normally I'd say there's nothing bad about it. But the fact that it's coming off on top of this Five of Swords right next to this releasing of negativity, I'm almost feeling like you might be making justifications for other people's ideas and perspectives. And those very ideas and perspectives are the reasons why these seeds are maybe not getting as much time and attention as they deserve. And therefore, I don't like it that much. Because when we start doing that and we start being fair to other people's perspectives when it's impacting us, we're not being fair to ourselves then. So it's time to truly reset, to reboot, to get ourselves back to as much of a neutral position as possible and start, just acknowledging where we are in the process. Acknowledging that we're in the beginning, acknowledging that you've just taken the first steps. That's it. It's like a little child who first learns how to walk. You can't expect them to sprint around the block. And I think that's what this is wanting it to do. This is what it's wanting it to be. From infant steps to Olympic sprinter in a matter of days. So that's definitely something to, stop. And hunger. Okay. I just had a little epiphany. I had my little judgment moment. Perhaps this seed was a seed that was planted because maybe you're tired of this. That this came from an ultimate feeling of hunger, right? You got hungry for new circumstances. You got hungry for a new lifestyle, for a new path. And I love this wolf moon. That's like such a sexy moon. I'm such a wolf person, like a lone wolf type person. And I just feel like if it's gotten to that point where you have to separate from the pack and be a lone wolf and go seek out your own meal and go seek out your own protection and go seek out your own life, now's the time. It's not fairness, it's not fair to you to give credence to the negative perspectives of others. And I think your dreams are calling. Your higher self is calling. It's like you're howling up to the moon and the moon is howling back. It's like a reciprocity here. You're communicating with the universe right now. So don't freak out that this seed has not officially broken ground yet. It's growing. Lilith, the first woman. Oh my God. And I think she's often connected with the wolf. Yes? Am I wrong in that? The first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. Right? I love that. I choose. Right? You choose the life that you desire to live. No excuses. I think it's boring. Right? All those lies, all those excuses, all those justifications, like it's boring. It's tired. And I think you're not going to have the energy to keep doing it anymore anyway. You're not going to have the energy to keep dedicating to the things that are outdated. It's time to make the change, guys. It just is. 2020, like, are you serious? Look around. Like, there is so much change going on in our world right now. And why not do it for yourself? Why not? I know you're hungry for it. I know you're tired of this. And I know the seed has already been planted. So what excuse do you have for staying here? Treasure Island. Oh my God. Exactly. That's what this all is. It's the journey to the Treasure Island. Like, there is a fortune, maybe an actual fortune, maybe, waiting for you. There's an actual fortune waiting for you on the other side of the choice, on the other side of the dedication, on the other side of the faith. Faith, the choice, the dedication, that's the journey. That is the path. All right? And we have, release. And it's time to release negativity. Release. Autumnal equinox, right? The autumn or the vernal equinox. We have this energy of an ending. A very distinct ending. It's very clear. It's very obvious. The season is changing. And if we have to go through a wintry period, a period of hunger, a period of loneliness, a period of whatever, sustained by faith and dedication, we will reach that treasure island after all. Oh my gosh, stop it, porcupine. Time for a beginner's mind, right? The beginning, page and ace, the beginning. Time for a beginner's mind. This is not a time for arrogance. This is not a time for thinking you know it all. It's a time of learning. It's a time of listening. And it's a time of new beginnings. Really, really beautiful, guys. I'm so excited to see what comes of this for you. I hope you have an amazing week. I'm going to leave you there. I wish you nothing but the best. September reading should be out early next week. And that's everything. All right. Thank you guys so much. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.